Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to our keto cooking class. We're all a little bit novice on this subject. I have done keto a couple of times, but if anyone has any great tips, make sure you pop them in the chat because I'm sure that some of you jumping on will have a bit more knowledge than us. I will do a little bit of an introduction of each of us and tell you a bit more about ourselves as well. So I'll go first, and then Oxy and Claire will introduce themselves as we move to them. Um, Talking really fast. I just realized I will try and slow down. So my name is Rosie. I'm a team leader based in Canberra. I've been a consultant for about 3.5 years now. And it was something that I swore I would never do when I first got a TM6. And I ended up loving my TM6 so much, and I was talking to everyone about it. So um, seemed like the natural way to go. And yeah, so love it and love my Thermomix. I think this is like my fourth one I've earned in those 3 years as well. So pretty exciting. And we do have a really exciting offer coming in September to earn a TM7. So whether you have a 5, 6, or 31, and you'd love to upgrade, or if you're just sitting there and you don't have one at all, now might be a good time for you. So Claire is going to go first. Hers take the longest. I'll flick over to you, Claire.
Awesome. Thanks, Rosie. So I've seen some of you guys around at these before. My name's Claire and I work for Thermomix and I've been doing it for about the last 15 years. I live in Canberra as well, and the reason I got into the business is I saw a demo. Had no money, stay-at-home mom, 3 little children, and no, not working. So I became a consultant to earn myself a Thermomix. Very grateful I did, because that then became, my career. At the time, I did not know that's what I was signing up for. But hey, I was saying to myself, I'm the kind of person who, can't necessarily be successful in direct sales. But there you go, proved myself wrong. And here I am, successful, loving it, full-time working, enjoying every moment. So I'm going to make for you guys tonight. So I did just say to Rosie, this is not my favorite theme out of all of the classes that we do, because I don't do keto personally, but I do tend to cook a lot of low fat, high fat, low carb cooking, and I try to avoid too many carbohydrates. And I quite like a lot of fat. So I think there's a part of keto that definitely resonates with me. And so tonight I've chosen to do the low carb, high fat chicken Kievs, which is actually a skinny mixes recipe that you can find in Cookie Do. Um, Amy's going to be in the chat. One has any questions, anything, definitely feel free to muting in the recording. All right, so the first thing I'm going to just set up, because it's going to take a little bit of time to cook, is I've also done the broccoli cheese pots. Now, I pre-made the broccoli mix. It's literally just some ricotta, some broccoli, some Parmesan cheese, garlic, and you mix it all up. And I'm using the little ramekins. So these are the ramekins designed for the TM7. You could use them in a TM6 frame, you just wouldn't be able to fit as many in. And I'm just going to show you how they sort of fit in there. So you can see that the way that they're shaped allows you to put them all beautifully in there. And I think you can also do a layer in your tray as well if you wanted to double up. So these are going to go on my Thermomix that is all ready to steam. And this is up to step 17 of the recipe going. So here in my second Thermomix, which is also, like Rosie said, a perk of being a consultant in the business, you get to earn yourself lots of Thermomixes. And I think over the years, I think I worked out this is about my 10th or 11th Thermomix that I've had. And so lots of family members get gifted Thermomixes as soon as there's a new model come out. So I'm going to move into the step 20 of the same recipe. And the first thing is my Parmesan, which I've already grated. So those of you that have a Thermomix, you know how amazing it is for grating cheese. And I'm going to make a white sauce that's going to go onto my broccoli pots once they're steamed. So all of that goes in. I'm going to add some unsalted butter. I've got a little bit of xanthan gum to replace the corn flour. It's only 20 grams of corn flour. However, when you do keto, you have pretty much no carbohydrates. And so flour is a big no-no, even corn flour. So starches are out. And so I'm just doing a little bit of xanthan gum for the thickener. Rosie also said you can use things like psyllium husks. I'm sure you could use chia seeds as well to add thickening. But it's only a small amount, so it shouldn't matter. I've also got nutmeg, sea salt, black pepper. And for milks, keto, you don't have milk. It's not high enough in fat, so you could do cream as a substitute, or you could do something like a nut milk, as long as it's unsweetened. So just going to pour my milk in. All right. And then that's going to go. So that's going to now thicken. And so my second one is the first recipe I mentioned, which is the LCH chicken Kievs skinny mixers recipe. I've already pre-made a lot of this one. So the first part that you do is you make an almond crumb. So this one has Parmesan cheese, almonds, and some herbs. So a little bit of oregano, some onion flakes, I think. So you mill that up, have that ready to go. And then I minced my own chicken. The recipe for you to, you can use mince if that's your preference. I tend to use, and you mix that into the Thermomix. And the recipe guides you through it. So it says to add the chicken breast, chopped into chunks, garlic, and add with a little bit of the crumb. And you create this mince texture here. So this is going to be the Kiev. Now I've divided it into 6 pieces. I make 6 because I've got 6 in my family, so that's easy. We don't have to share any. However, I think the recipe calls for 8. So I'm just going to lightly wet my hands. Just makes it a little bit easier when working with the chicken mince. And I'm just going to flatten each of those out into little rounds. Now, you might like to be, I'm a bit of a rough cook, so I kind of just like to get the job done rather than make things look nice. But if you're someone who likes to make them look nice, you could definitely invest a bit more time into this. All right. And the good thing about also having partially frozen is it's easier to work with. When it's, when the chicken's really soft, it's a bit too soft. And so it's much harder to mold. This here also is a recipe, is part of the recipe. So it's a so you want a nice big chunk, and the keto is a fat, and the reason behind is you don't have a high, so you do fuel your body, and your body will access energy. If you have carbohydrates, then you're all right. So just want to evenly distribute that around. Don't leave any between anything else. All right. So then you're going to grab your little round, and again, I might just get some water to wet my hand. So it helps just to have slightly a bit of water. I'm going to kind of seal that up and then smooth it down so there's no gaps. And then flopping my hands. So you can sort of see there's a little bit of a ball there. If you want to shape it flat, you can give it a little bit of a press down. And so there's that. And then the next step is to just roll it in the crumb that's left over. So I'm going to roll that in. There's going to be 2 layers of rolling crumb. So there's my chicken Kiev. So did that make sense? Sorry. And if when you say it's a little bit jumpy, do you mean like I'm jumping from step to step?
No, like the connection's not amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was my internet or your internet
Oh, that's annoying. So sorry. I can jump to my hotspot for the next part. But yeah, so I'm going to keep finishing these ones. If Rosie or Oxy, you want to, who's next? Rosie, you next?
Yeah, I can quickly do the chocolate chip cookie dough fat bombs, and then we can jump to Oxy while I roll them.
Yeah,
and then
cool.
that works. So I am going to make the keto chocolate chip cookie dough fat bomb. These are really good if you're craving a sweet treat. Super simple ingredients. If you're doing keto, you'll probably have most of the stuff at home. So butter, monk fruit sweetener. You can use allulose as well. Just adjust for your sweet, like how much sweetness you want. Salt, vanilla extract, almond flour, and dark chocolate chips. It does say that it takes 20 minutes to make, but I think that must include, 50 total. I think that includes rolling as a ball. So if you're haphazard, like Claire and I, with not being perfectionists, then you'll be fine. Won't take that long. So we're going to just start off with, so we've got some unsalted butter at roughly room temp. Is mine jumpy too, or was it just Claire's?
No, yours is good.
Mine's okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our butter. Pick that up. We've got I am going to use monk fruit sweetener today just because, yeah, I didn't have it. So we're going to do 2 ounces of that. This is an American recipe, but the beauty of the Thermomix is that obviously converts it all for you, so you don't have to work out the ounce to grams. Put our salt. We want half a teaspoon of salt. So for anyone that wants to have the measurement for this, so it's 4 ounces of unsalted butter, 2 ounces of monk fruit sweetener, half a teaspoon of salt, and then half a teaspoon of vanilla extract in this first step, just in case you don't have cookie dough. Perfect. I'm just going to pop the lid on here, and then it's going to do 20-second speed pour. There are a couple of new features for anyone that hasn't done the update. So if you like to be really organized and get your ingredients ready before you cook, there's a new section. If you scroll down to your ingredients, you can gather ingredients, and then you can actually weigh everything without having to put a bowl or on top of your lid or anything like that. That's really easy. All right, so next. All right, so now we've got our almond flour. I actually milled my almond flour into a big jar, so I don't have to do it every single time I do it, because if you've done keto before, you know how much almond flour you use. So much almond flour. Honestly, I don't know how you do it if you have nut allergies. 10 ounces. Have to concentrate when you're weighing, otherwise you end up with way too little or way too much. Normally the second for me. Right, so that was 10 ounces of milled almond flour. Yeah. I'm going to do another 20 seconds, speed 3.5. That's just going to mix it all together. And then once that's done, where's my scraper? I love being able to scroll and see what's next so that you can get like a bit tidying done, or you can get your next ingredient ready. I've never had a Thermomix without cookie dough, but like lifesaver. I love cookie dough. Just like takes the mental strain away from the cooking. All right, so we're going to scrape down the sides of the mixture. So you can see there it's not quite amalgamated. Scrape that all down. Smells really nice. It smells like a proper cookie. I love. So I'm quite a sweet tooth, so I do struggle a little bit with keto and the sweet craving. So having these on hand really like make sure I'm not stealing the kids' school chocolates. Right, so we're gonna do another 20 seconds at speed 3.5. Now there's a few different brands of like sugar-free chocolate that you can get that have got different kinds of sweeteners in them. I use the No Shoe brand, and I love it because you can get like white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and you can even get what's sort of like a caramel flavor. So they're really fun and handy, and you can also get them at Woolworths, which is great. So you don't have to go to a special shop or get them online. Right, so we've now got our 2 ounces of little tiny chocolate chips. We'll pop them in. And then do another mix. So another 20 seconds, reverse, speed 3.5. And then we can move to Roxy Oxy, wrong name. Move to Oxy because I'm going to scoop them into little balls and I'll show you.
Perfect. Sounds amazing. Good evening, my friends. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm very excited to show you my amazing recipe that can be cooked before and you can take it anywhere. It's so easy. It's basically you have all the things in your pantry. So it is an American recipe. And as Rosie mentioned, the Thermomix automatically changes it into Fahrenheit and into ounces. But don't worry, it programs straight away back to your normal recipe. So I'm starting in and my recipe called Keto Cheddar Biscuits. Now, when you hear the word cheddar, it sounds amazing already. So I'm going to start, and the Thermomix is telling me that I need to heat up my oven for 180 degrees. So I've already done it. And the next step is line a baking sheet with a parchment paper. I would like to show you what I'm cooking on always. It comes in our mix shop and you don't need to have a baking paper or cut it. You have several trays. There's a really cute one, tiny tray, and you already have a like for your macaroons, for basically anything. This is a really good tray, and whoever loves baking, this is a fantastic gift. That's what I think, because gifts must be practicable and sustainable. So look, no need to cut. It's all there for you, and everything goes in the dishwasher. All right, my friends, we'll continue next. So I'm placing my cheddar cheese in. It takes only basically 5 seconds to melt. Just stay with me. First we do with the dry ingredients. And here they are. Perfect. And then we transfer it to a bowl to grate our almonds. Now, I've already grated my almonds because I buy almonds in bulk, just like Rosie. And I just add them in. Literally, you can see I'm not your true blue Aussie, so I do buy everything in bulk to save money on a lot of things and time, because I do work and I have 3 hungry children. So I've used raw almonds, and I've already grinded them. And then I'm going to place butter. Now my butter already pre-melted, so I'm just going, I love butter. Sorry, Claire, as much as you don't like dairy. This butter is grass-fed, New Zealand. It's so good. It's delicious.
I don't mind high fat.
Is it? I buy
Dairy,
mine
not
from
beef.
from Costco. It's in New Zealand, and it has a flavor, not almost like French butter, but it's there. It's grass-fed cows, because if you buy a cheaper butter, it doesn't have that flavor because the cows don't eat the good diet. So let's go back to my butter, and my next step is melting. The melting here takes 3 minutes, but I'm going to skip it because my melting has been already done. And next, I'm going to add garlic powder and onion. But I'm going to give you an incredible tip. In order for them not to go rock hard in humidity, which most of us do have, keep it in your fridge and they'll be always nice and dry. I'm also adding to my biscuits mixed herbs and a little bit of chili for that zing. As you can see, this recipe is quite versatile. So I added all my ingredients in beautiful bamboo bowl and putting that. The smell is already incredible. And then I'm adding salt. You can see my favorite salt. Malden should pay me. So my salt, and then I'm going to do pepper. Now I do love good pepper. And then I'm pressing next and adding just 2 eggs. Here go to my 2 eggs and a little bit of baking powder. And then I'm going to give everything a good mix, literally for 10 seconds. And as you can see, I have 2 Thermomixes I'm going to show off. You can see 2 Thermomixes on my bench. Originally, I am from Kazakhstan. When I moved to Australia, I didn't know anyone except my husband and his family. And I've joined Thermomix because I was a bit lonely. I wanted my friends. And I've been with Thermomix for over 5 years now. And I can't leave it because that's my community. That's where my sense of belonging came. And that's where I learned all basic Australian idioms. Like one day someone said, "I'm pulling your leg." I looked under the table and I said, "No, you're not." And then someone said, "Bring a plate for this barbecue." And I brought 10 plates and cutlery because I thought they were short of things. So I'm learning with my Thermomix team as much as I can. And in that time, I earned, I can't even count now, I think I earned 5 or 6 Thermomixes, and all my children and all my family have Thermomixes. And I personally, sincerely, I love it. I really do. My children's food palette is expanded so much. They know so many ingredients, and it teaches you financial literacy to cook and plan your meals and stick to your budget. And next thing I'm going to add is my spring onions. Now that's a lot of spring onions, to be honest. It's at least good 60 grams. You can put your parsley in. You can, if you like coriander, you can put coriander. Currently, my parsley being raided by this hungry wombat that just rolls in it. Not just eats it, but rolls in it. So I have spring onions. So I'm going to add that in. Now, onions do make everything beautiful, like French onion soup. The onion is such a basic ingredient, but has so much flavor and so much probiotics. So I'm going to go next, and I'm going to give it a mix. And back to my story about the consultancy. Since I came from Kazakhstan and I didn't know anyone, my friends, and I didn't have any network. I sold over 60 Thermomixes by now, and that's just by talking about Thermomix. And to me, it's such a good income. So if food for thought, you never know. Have a think. And I want to show you my beautiful spatula. That's another spatula. It's a Tavola spatula. It's long, and it created, I think a woman designed it for the Thermomix. It goes all the way down your bowl, and you can reach incredible, takes everything out. Look at this. Isn't that delicious? I wish I can transport it to you. That's so incredible. And my friends, just for you, I have pre-made these cookies. So open your teleports. Look how beautiful they look. You can take them anywhere and look at this tray. And I make mine a little bit plumpy. But being keto, you gotta have something plumpy, right? So these my bikis are a bit plumpy. They are so good. They smell exquisite. My friends, 5 Michelin stars. Easy. So that's it from me.
They look
Thanks,
delicious.
Rosie.
Thank you.
I started making these cheddar cookies when I wasn't doing keto because my best friend Amy was hardcore doing keto at the time, and these were one of her favorites. And now they're like a staple in my house, whether I'm doing keto or not, because they're so delicious. They have so much flavor. And we're matching with our trays, Foxy.
And me, look.
Oh, matching. Did you earn yours? I earned mine.
Definitely earned mine.
Yeah.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, that's one of the fun parts about being a consultant. Like you're constantly getting little packages in the mail with new goodies. One of which I actually have here. I don't know if people have seen this yet, but so if you don't use your Varoma very much and you'd like to use it more, we actually have some accessories coming out to fit in there. So you could have like your meat on this side, you could have your veggies on this side, and there's a little tongs that are designed to actually clip on to that to lift it out so you don't burn yourself in the middle. So I know that over the years I've had a few customers who didn't love the plastic. So I've had lots of people asking for like a metal or silicone alternative. So this is going to be great if you are trying to reduce plastic.
And we
And
thought
that's why you avoid.
we thought next month we might do a Varoma themed inspired class. So
Oh,
using
awesome.
our new accessories. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, this is a little sneak peek for you.
That's great.
Awesome. How are you going, Claire? Do you
Yeah, look, I've finished rolling my so I'm not going to cook them tonight because obviously it's past dinner time for people in my household. So I'm going to save this for tomorrow night's dinner. I did a double roll, so I rolled them all in the crumb and then I rolled them all in the crumb again. And the next step would be for me to fry these on the stove, just in some butter, soak up some of the fats, and yeah, the more fat, the more butter you can have, the nicer they are. So do a nice fry and then you bake them in the oven for about 15 minutes. So the fry gets the extra flavor and fat on the outside. Obviously, the whole chunk of butter on the inside as well. So when you cut into it, it's pretty delicious. And I usually have these with a salad and some olive oil and balsamic. Yeah, just keep it really simple and really light. It's a really delicious light meal. Even though it's high fat, it's super amazing. So, yeah, I love them. My kids are not as big a fans, but that's okay. That's why my internet was glitchy earlier because I have a 16-year-old who loves to game, and I had to go and tell him off. So, yeah. So they're going to go into my fridge. Otherwise, I could freeze them. I could freeze them in individual portions. We had a bit of conversation before we started the meeting. Oxy's like, can you freeze them? And I said probably fry then freeze, but actually I changed my mind. I probably freeze. So then when you get out, you can fry and it's all nice and flavored. All right, the white sauce. So here's my white sauce. That one is going to go on my broccoli pots. Now they're almost done, so I'm just going to take them off now. Oh, they're definitely rising. Now I tend to always add a little bit of extra of everything that when I'm cooking, which means when I come to do the recipe, it's always more overflowing. So I don't know how I'm going to fit this white sauce in here. But you can see that the ricotta and broccoli on the inside are nice and puffed up, cooked there. So let me just work out how to do this. So the intention is, for this next part, is I place my ramekins on a baking tray. So I'll use my mum hands. So ramekins on my baking tray. And then I will top with cheese sauce and sprinkle with the remaining Parmesan, which I don't know. I used it all up somehow, but that's okay. So I don't have a lot of space for my white sauce, but I'm just going to put a little drizzle on top just to give it that little bit of extra flavor. And then they're going to go under a hot grill. So I've got my oven on to a high grill. So I'd probably recommend just scraping lids off. I think if you didn't have an overflow of ingredients, the inside probably won't be touching the lid like it is for me. So they are going to go under the hot grill, and I'll do that now. And that's kind of my recipes as well.
Okay.
Wow. How did we finish so soon? Oh,
Well,
you
I
got
still
your
got to do
cooking.
my
Awesome.
spiralizer little recipe.
You
So the next
do.
one that I'm doing is the spicy spiralized zucchini spaghetti carbonara. It's a bit of a mouthful. Pop in the chat if you have a cutter that's sitting in a box and you haven't used it. But I would love to get you guys to give this a go. So the little shaft goes in first. Just pop that over the blade like that. And then you've got your bowl. So I have already done one of the zucchinis. You can see there what it comes out like. So you want to just have this little bit here needs to be in line with your handle for the TM7. You pop that on there. Now there's a couple of different attachments. The spiralizer attachment is what we're using today. So it looks like this. You want the green one for your zucchini noodles. So you just switch that all over, look at your book. Pop this. So you want this to actually, you want to be able to see that through the feeder. So you just line up these little bits that come out with the feeder. And then when you look through, that's what it looks like. You pop that on. Hopefully this is all making sense. Can't see the chat. And then you've got your little secret button here. So there's a little ridge section. You push on that, that actually pulls the outer cover off, and you've then got this special little bit you stick into your zucchini. So I'm going to pop that on there. And then we're going to basically pop that in there. Exit that. Okay, so because we're doing a recipe, we're just gonna, it's all pre-programmed for us, but you can obviously do this outside of a recipe. If you've made bolognese sauce for the kids and spaghetti and you want to have something a bit lighter, you can make a zucchini noodles outside of a recipe. So we're gonna skip through all of the instructions. It does tell you exactly what to do. So it's going to be 20 seconds roughly, and we've got it on set for thin spiralizing. We're just going to gently guide. No pushing there. Go. And then I always make sure I pull the shaft out when I take the bowl out, because there have been people that have accidentally left it in and grated it up. Perfect. So you can see here I've got my beautiful homemade zucchini noodles. Super fresh, much, much cheaper than buying them at the supermarket. So yeah, definitely give that a go. Now we're just going to pop this into the varoma because it actually steams on top afterwards. You can divide it between the bottom and the tray, but I don't use it because it's one less thing to clean. Make sure that there's some gaps. So you want to be able to see some of those little gaps through the zucchini. I'll pop that aside. Now I'm actually going to cheat when it comes to the browning section because I don't want it to take 8 minutes. So I've already grated my parmesan, so we can get past that. Now we've got 40 grams of shallots roughly. I'm actually halving this recipe because I'm only making for 2 people, not 4. So I've got actually about 30 grams, and then 1 garlic clove. Going to pop the lid on and pop for 3 seconds, B7. Next. Now this one does tell us to scrape down the sides. It is important that you don't skip past this. So there are a few recipes where it'll say, oh, don't ever put your face over the bowl. Bad idea if there's onion and garlic in there. There are a few recipes, as I was saying, that it says don't scrape down the bowl, and that's because it wants your garlic or your onion to just gently heat on the sides, and then your main heat element will be down the bottom for everything else. So we've now got 75 grams instead of 150 of bacon cubes. Tuck that in. We've got a little bird's eye chili just chopped up. I have pre-weighed this stuff, so I'm not weighing it in there. And then we're going to do 15 grams of olive oil. Next. Now, normally the recipe says 8 minutes at 120 degrees reverse. But I'm actually going to go into my little blade. It goes to my browning section. And I'm going to do intense. I'm going to do 4 minutes. And we're going to see how that turns out. So it's a bit of trial and error when you first start using browning mode, but it's going to do, so instead of being at 120 degrees, it's going to do about 160. So much, much quicker. Claire, do you want to show us your, just eating over there, sorry. Are they done? Are they out of the oven? Yeah, they look nice. They look nice and browned. Well, while you're eating, I'll talk about demos. So, we look at Claire's kitchen sinks. So Claire and Diana, yeah. That's because she's got a Thermomix and she's cleaning in between steps.
She does,
My
doesn't
kitchen's
she?
never tidy like that before. Actually, my sister got a Thermomix and her husband was like, "Thank you so much," because now the kitchen is clean at the end. So they used to, she would cook and he would clean, but now she has a Thermomix. She cooks and cleans as she goes, so he doesn't have to do as much work at the end, which I thought was great. So it's not a selling point that we usually sell it on, but definitely a great benefit. So demos, Oxy, you want to talk a little bit about demos and how much we love doing them?
Yeah, you can see I'm a very social person, so I love people and I love offering them demos. And the reason for that, demos are free. You come and invite a brilliant consultant whose passion is Thermomix, and they come and show you what to cook, how to make, bring your friends over. I think after COVID, we have become by default a little bit isolated and still are. So bringing someone in, having a really good chat. Usually demos last for 2 hours. You end up with a really good meal, lots of good conversations. And as Rosie said, there's nothing to clean up after. You don't need anything. You just bring a couple of friends that might be interested in cooking or eating, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's so
yes, that's how it starts. And so delicious food is connecting. And Thermomix for me is a product that's connecting. As I said, I have 3 children. I'm studying in uni. I work in a preschool, and I cook a lot, and I cook a lot from scratch. And the reason is I love food, good food, and Thermomix does that for me. And that's where the demos come in. And in a demo, I've learned so much. It's incredible. I just learned from Rosie that instead of using corn flour, use a zanzam gum or chia seeds or psyllium husk. Psyllium
yeah.
husk. Yeah, how good is that? I didn't know that before. So go ahead, take that offer to book a demo. It's a good thing. There's
And
nothing
it's
to
so
lose.
easy now as well. We've got a set demo menu that we generally do. We have set recipe like ingredient lists. So the consultant will bring most of the pantry items. You just have to provide what's like the cold things. So it makes it so easy for you. You just have to invite your friends, have a couple of things on hand. And whether somebody buys or not, like most of us just want to do the demo and make those connections. So it's definitely not anyone trying to put a hard sell on your friends. We do it because we love it. And it's like you said, it's a connection point. So if you haven't done a demo before, or if you haven't done one in a while, get some host rewards, host a demo, invite a couple of people over, and make your consultant's day by surprising them with wanting to book a demo.
And the thing I love the most is we have this beautiful industry called the direct sales industry, where anybody can come and join and have the opportunity for a flexible income, either part-time, full-time, or supplementary to something they're already doing, where they get to become a part of this beautiful community, inspiring people to, bring things into their life that can make a difference. So I'm really passionate about the direct sales industry. It's pretty much all I've done my whole life. And a lot of people come into our business or don't yet, and they go, oh, but I'm not a salesperson. And actually, we're not about taking on salespeople, we're about relationship building, because to us, like, it is a community. And so as a customer, the way you get to be a part of that community is showing up to these classes, which is really great. We love having you. It is hosting demos, that's how you get to be a part of the community. Or if you want a little bit more immersion, then come on and be a consultant and take a step into that next layer of community. But yeah, it's a beautiful industry. And it survives because you guys open up your homes to us, and we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, and you know what? I've done other direct sales business before, and what I love about Thermomixes is very much come in, give it a try, and we still love you if you leave. So if you try it for 3 months and decide it's not for you, you're not going to lose all the friends that you've made. And there's no stigma with doing that. So we're very much come in, give it a go, see if it fits in with what you're looking for, and then like no risk really. Where were you the other day? Did I see something about Parliament House?
Yeah. Yeah. So I got to go to Parliament House and hang out with the politicians and Pace live in Canberra. I tell you, we never see politicians, by the way, just because we live here. Yeah, and I was there on behalf of the direct sales industry. The Direct Selling Association put this on, and we just got to talk to politicians about the positive impact that our industry has in our communities and enabling so many thousands of people, predominantly women. Like we obviously we have men in our business, but 98% of our field team are women. And so, yeah, it was a really nice opportunity for us to highlight the benefits of our industry.
Oh, it's so fun. I mean, who would have thought when you were like struggling with how to buy a Thermomix that you would end up
I know.
13, 14 years in and going to Parliament House to represent Thermomix?
That's right. I did speak to a really lovely politician. Her name was Susan Templeton, I think. I don't follow politics, so I don't really know much about anyone, but I loved her. She was awesome. She just was so excited because she loved the prospect of, young mums who want to be at home with their kids to be able to have an income. So, yeah, it was nice talking to her.
Oh, and there's so many different people from different walks of life. Like I work 3 days a week and do this part-time. I know you do it full-time. Like there's people that don't work at all. There's like a spectrum of people. So it's really fun. I'm gonna show you so this is the result of my intense browning, which is a benefit of obviously the TM7. Unfortunately, if you have the TM6, you're gonna have to just follow the recipe. And another little trick, the next section is to actually steam the zucchini noodles. So I've boiled my kettle first, so that I'm starting with boiling water. So instead of doing 15 minutes, I'll hopefully be able to just do 5. And it just makes it a little bit quicker, especially if you've got, cranky kids that are hungry, you want to get dinner on the table, like boil that water first. The Thermomix is great, but it's not the fastest kettle. So yeah, I have rolled all of these. So you can you're supposed to refrigerate or freeze them. So you don't actually cook them, you just eat them like this. They are nice and cold. They do firm up a little bit because obviously there's butter. But yeah, so we've got our little fat bombs to satisfy your sweet craving. And then this we've got the little bird's eye chilies. So this gives you that like spice craving. There's some really great recipes if you're doing keto. That one looks so nice. I haven't tried it, Claire, but I reckon with those changes, I could fit it in with my pre-holiday keto.
I mean, I try to avoid dairy, which is why I'm not so keen on keto, but they're really delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty yummy.
and the
broad.
broccoli makes it pretty healthy, really. You've
Yeah.
got some green in there. It's not like it's just almond meal and like this. This is definitely not nutritious. The butter's probably the healthiest thing in there. Yeah. So I've got 2 more minutes. I don't know.
That's okay. We can ask if anyone has any questions or
Yeah, that's
comments, or you would like to hear some more of our stories?
So Rosie made a comment earlier and she said, why don't we just do these and record them and share them and not do them live? And so I'd love to know from you guys, from your perspective, what do you love about the live ones as opposed to just watching a recording? Feel free to type in the chat or jump off mute. Just a bit of curiosity there.
We're just so cute and cuddly.
Maybe you are, Roxy.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, for me, it's an efficiency thing, right? Because obviously 7:30 can be tricky with the kids. Obviously, I've made other arrangements for them tonight, but um, I'm happy to watch a video, but other people like it live. So everyone's so very different. And I love that we record these so that people can watch them later on. Because I think you said we had about 70 registrations, and there's 20 people on. So there's 70 people that want the recording, and then there's more that will jump onto the YouTube later and watch it. So it is great.
Yeah, I think our sourdough one has like over 300 views. So if anyone wants to learn how to make sourdough, that was pretty popular. I actually started making sourdough after what, being a part of that one, watching that one.
Yeah, I would love to make sourdough, but it's not keto. And I'm on the keto train at the moment because I'm going to Bali soon. Well, Singapore first.
Let me show you we're going to Singapore next week. I'm so excited. So here's my sourdough I made today. I don't eat it either, which is really hard making it. I avoided making it for so long because I love sourdough. Anyway, it takes a lot of self-control not to eat it. So yeah, that's my loaf that I whipped up the last 36 hours.
Oh, cute. I like that it's sandwich shape. I
Yeah,
might be able to get my kids onto that. It has to fit
sometimes
into the sandwich section of the lunchbox.
if it's sometimes they're a bit sort of softer, like they spread. So if I don't have a tin, it just gets a bit flat. Just depends on my ratios.
Sorry, Elizabeth just wrote that it's her first cooking class online, and it's nice to meet people who are proficient with their Thermomix. That's one thing that really consultancy taught me, how to be so proficient. I think my Thermomix paid itself so many times already. And then Christine added that she went to a group meeting in Biga, and it was really good. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful that you are here, and I'm grateful that you trust us and invested your time in here. What's in it for you? It's our passion. It's our good energy. And I really do wish that there could be like teleport in Zoom so I can give you my incredible biscuits. They smell so delicious. They are so good.
Yeah, that's so yummy.
I am, Rosie, going to try your chopped chip cookies.
They're nice. If you're trying to avoid carbs and you want to fat,
No, that's not me. I'll just try for the sake of it. Yeah,
well,
carbs make me happy.
cookies.
That's why I'm not grumpy because I love my carbs.
If I could choose a real cookie over a keto cookie, I would 100% choose a real cookie. These are nice, but they don't replace a real cookie.
My favorite cookies are the paleo chopped chip cookies from the American Cookie Dough. They're awesome. And I just don't put the coconut sugar in. I just skip that step. And I do sultanas instead of chocolate, and they're amazing.
They call paleo cookie. I'm looking for
can
my
you
cookie.
do like allulose or monk fruit sugar instead of the coconut?
Well, they're sweet enough. You don't, because there's like, I think there's honey in them. There's definitely something sweet in them. Yeah.
But they chemically break down in the glucose, fructose, regardless of what you have anyhow, don't you think? Oh, it's an illusion, a
It
psychological
depends.
illusion.
Like if you're having as much fat as you have on a keto diet and then you go and have carbs, your body stores the carbs. So I never actually check if I'm in ketosis, but I'm very careful to avoid carbs if I'm having like a butter and almond.
Yeah, because your body will favor fat energy as opposed over carb energy, but it will store the carb energy as fat.
Exactly. So I mean if you really dumb down keto, the premise of it is that you're avoiding carbs and sugar because that's what your body stores. So your body's sort of forced to then eat your stored, like the stored fat. So it does work. I've definitely lost weight multiple times doing it. And it's quite a yummy way of eating. Like you can have bacon and eggs and avocado and like I do miss fruit. So you can have a little bit of blueberries, blackberries, or strawberries. So I really miss fruit when I'm doing it, but everything else is pretty delicious. So I mean, like this is got chili, bacon, garlic, parmesan. Like yes, it's not real carbs, but the zucchini is so tasty. Um, yeah, high protein. That's the one thing, Elizabeth, about keto. It doesn't really prioritize the protein. I try and have protein with everything because I'm approaching 40. But it's yeah, like if you're doing keto recipes, that's definitely not the forefront of what they make. But like, you know, being able to chop up a steak and chuck it in browning mode in your TM7, like that's quite a bit of protein for you anyway. And you could pair it with something like this anyway. So
We can definitely look to do a high protein class too. Like, you know, everyone has a different way of eating and yeah, you know, some people like low fat, some people like high fat, some like low carb, high protein, low, yeah. You know, no meat.
yeah. High protein's massive at the moment as well, so it's probably a good one to put on the
And if anyone wants to learn about the protein leverage effect, Eat Like the Animals is an amazing book. It's really awesome if you haven't heard of it yet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like you have a book for everything, Claire.
No, I love books. They're just so good.
Yeah, they are good. You can make your own cottage cheese in the Thermomix, I think, can't you? I haven't tried it
you
before.
can.
But yeah, if you're struggling to find it, make your own. I think
There's a
it's
cheese book
pretty
on it.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's easier to just buy it if you can, but if you really want it and you can't find it at the shops, there are some recipes.
You just add lemon juice to milk. That's it.
That's it for cottage
Yeah,
cheese.
and then it curds.
It's a little bit like ricotta. They're kind of, they're all the same. Ricotta, cottage cheese. But I think cottage cheese has a few more added ingredients.
Yeah.
It's quite easy, to be honest, when you have a Thermomix.
All right. Amy, are you going to take a screenshot of us with our food? I'm not going to pick mine up. Actually, I could. I can pick it up now that it's cool.
Shall I be like a cookie monster and munch all of them up?
Oh, okay. Amy, are you there, Amy? Oh my gosh, I bet she's not there. Hang on. Just gonna take a photo like this.
Yes, sorry, I'm here. I'm coming.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes.
All right, ready?
Your treasure.
Sorry, hang on a second. Keep smiling. Got you. Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Amazing.
Thanks for coming on, everyone. It was really fun. Claire, I just totally interrupted you. What were you going to say?
No, I was deciding whether I jump in and farewell, and then I realized, no, Rosie's doing it.
Well, is there anything you need to cover before we hop off?
What's our next class?
Well, we were thinking of doing a Veroma one. I know we did have a set theme, but next month we're kicking off into this exciting challenge in our company, and there's going to be some amazing join our team offers. So yeah, love you guys to reach out to your consultant just to get some more info. Otherwise, we will see you next month. We'll share a lot more about it then, and we'll show you some of the new Veroma stuff that's hitting is it hitting our mix shop soon?
Yeah, well, we've all been given the opportunity to earn it, so I'm thinking it'll be there soon. They're probably waiting for the other ceramic item.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get some cool Veroma cooking happening for you next month. So watch this space.
We can plan it while we're in Singapore.
We can. Yay. All right. Thanks, Rosie. Thanks, Oxy, and everybody else for watching. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Good night. Thank you.